Hi guys, and welcome to today's task. For today's task, I'm going to show you how and why I attached these 2x3s to the top of all of my floor joists. It was to level the floor from here all the way into the house, and we've done it and finished it, and I'll show you the steps I took to accomplish it. To find out level from this floor to where the new floor is going to be, I took my level and I mounted this block of wood to the floor on both ends. Then I also put a screw in holding my 6-foot level out so it's kind of cantilevering out above that floor line. This will tell me how much I need to fill between this floor joist and the new floor height. When I was explaining how I had to do this, everybody kept asking me, well, why not just make the floor drop a little bit lower and make them two uneven heights? I don't necessarily want that look because it's not drastic enough. It's not gonna feel like a dropped living room or anything like that. It's gonna just feel like a bad floor job. And so I really wanna pay attention right here at this critical step and make the floor feel perfect when we walk across it. Initially, I took this floorboard and I put some shims underneath this end. And then I came out to here wherever it was roughly as level as possible. If I come to the next one as a full stringer, I drop my level. If I put this stringer here, it's too tall and then I will be way too high. And eventually these are all gonna be the same height once I get out so far. But I just have to make that transfer of height difference really gradual so you don't notice it. And I think if I go out this far, you won't notice it anymore. So now I'm just gonna take a measurement from here. This one shows that it is 1 inch and 3/8. This one shows that it is 1 inch and 3/8 as well. So ultimately, our slope isn't as drastic as we thought, but I know if I put a full 1.5 inches right here, I'm gonna feel that bump when I come over this with the hardwood floors. Now I have all 6 of my boards. It takes 3 of them to span this entire room. I am ready to start nailing these boards to these floor joists. I'm gonna start with one back because there's a few things I gotta do here HVAC wise before I start setting anything too permanently on this area. So we're just gonna go from one and the rest back, and I know we should be good. When it comes to doing anything with the floor of your house, there's a possibility of making it squeak, even brand new houses or old houses. When you hear that squeak, that's the wood rubbing up and down on nails in the floor or rubbing up and down on sections of the outside walls. I want to eliminate as much of that as possible, and so I'm going to glue these boards as well as nail them down, and I'm going to nail them with what we call ring shank nails. Now, ring shank nails are a nail that is meant to go in and never come out. So if you put them in, don't try and rip them out. You will destroy the board you're working with. In my nail pull video, I showed you how to pull nails. Ring shank nails aren't meant to come out, and you will trash whatever tool you're using, and it's just not worth it. So if you want it to stay put, use ring shank nails. If you don't want it to come out and you're just temporary framing stuff, make sure they're just regular framing nails. So I've gone ahead and purchased liquid nails, which is like the best glue in the world for using any carpentry work, and this is what I've been taught to use, and this is what all my friends swear by, and it's what I swear by. So cut yourself off a pretty good section, because we're gonna be pretty liberal with this stuff. On a side note, when it comes to caulking guns, I like to buy mid-grade caulking guns. The cheapest ones are cheap for a reason. The most expensive ones I think are a little bit more money than they're really worth. Mid-grade, maybe 10, 15 bucks for a caulking gun is a good price. I like them because they have a little bit more durability in the handles. They come with little things like the pokers, which is super nice and necessary. And I've even seen a bunch come with knives in here so you can pinch and cut them. This one doesn't, but it's still a good brand. And we caulk. And I have this piece of wood here to kind of tell me my guide of how far I need to caulk this. And remember, after you're done putting your first bead down, hit this back button to release the pressure so that you're not just spewing this out all over the ground where you're working. Now we can take our board, set it all the way against this wall, and I want to just kind of do a rough centering, and then we nail. Okay, let's go ahead and put our template back real quick just to verify and double check. And guys, that really does look fantastic. That puts me at a lot of ease. I've been stressing about this for a while now on how we were gonna do it, and this has worked perfectly. Now, this is a full dimension board, and we're gonna be full dimension boards from here on out. So we're just gonna start working our way all the way down, and then back and down. Since these are all in place, I'm just gonna lay one down. I'm not laying any of the boards down all the way permanently, but oh, it feels amazing. It feels incredible to be standing on a very secure feeling floor. The floor joists are pretty darn level. We've gone and brought it up to surface level with this room. I think this is really gonna do the trick. I'm really excited to finish this project off in this room and then insulate the walls, which will be next, and then start snap and chalk lining our layout of this room. We have a drafter that's just finished up, and we've approved the final draft of what's gonna happen in this section of the house, which is kind of one of the biggest endeavors that we're dealing with right now. So next is insulation in the cement area and in this crawl space, and then we can start chalk lining and snap lining the floor for where it's gonna go and lay out the plumbing, and then this room will be done and we'll move on to the next. That's a lot still, but the biggest headache and the biggest worry that I've had since we started this project is this room is getting fixed and corrected, and we're already seeing the benefits of it. This floor feels so solid. I just can't even believe how solid it feels. And it never felt like that before, so I'm pretty excited about it. Now I'll finish off laying all these boards across all the rest of these, and we'll call this room good for today. One and two, and then the third section is all we have left to go. But the third section is not 8 feet exactly. It is actually 7 feet 3 inches, and 3/8 will roughly fit through all of these joists. And because I have to make 17 cuts, I put my vice grips at my kind of stop point, and then I'm lining up 3 more each time and cutting 3 at a time. Okay, you guys, I am not Lady Gaga. Yes, this is a wardrobe change though, because it is the next day on this project. I started doing these floor joist stringers kind of later in the day yesterday, and when I got over here to the door, the threshold on the door sticks into the room this a little bit too far. It's not that big of an issue, but it would create a gap in the stringers over there when we rip the door out eventually, and I thought, I'm just gonna do this right and rip the door out. But a lesson that I've learned over all of the projects I've ever done is don't be in a rush to get something done just because you want to get it done. Most likely you'll start skipping corners. You will start rushing things and putting things in the way you don't really want them to go in. So I said, okay, call it a night. I'll come back tomorrow fresh and we'll just get it done. And that's a tip that I think everybody should kind of learn in their projects or whatever. Don't be in such a rush to get them done. Take your time. You're going to be happier with a job done right than you will be with getting it done a day early and having it done half as good of quality. So, tip for the day, take your time, you're fine. Wow, there is not much left of that threshold at all. At all, holy cow, that is terrible. Puts a lot of life in the room though, that's sure nice. Since I have this all the way exposed, I'm just gonna take advantage of this time and put in a new plate here that's gonna connect this bottom plate and this bottom plate. I'm actually using 2x6 instead of 2x4 because that way I can drive down into these floor joists and hold them steady. So I think it's a win-win. One thing I definitely wanna take care of though is I would like to put some caulking on this just to kind of help seal up this. And we are gonna be uber liberal with this stuff. I have pre-drilled my concrete drill so that these will be glued down very well. Okay, that looks pretty good. Well, we've got these drilled, and now we're just lock them in. Go. Good to go. If you look right here, you can see this is the old board that's on the house. Pretty cool. Then they put this aluminum siding on. All right, this is our final board that we are cutting. I'm not gonna put this last stringer on just because we've got a lot of utility work that's gotta come through this wall and I don't wanna tighten the space too much. So this is as far as we're gonna get for now on this project. It looks really good and I'm really happy about the way it feels. If you guys like today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and if you want to look at any of the tools that I've used on this project, I will link them in the description down below. Also, if you want to be notified every time we put up a video, click the notification bell next to the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Shoot. Well, that doesn't freaking help. That one isn't, sorry. Look how pretty that looks. It's even. Oh my gosh.